Good morning. We're going to talk about coffee today and all the amazing benefits that coffee has to offer us. So I have everything set up here to start my day and make coffee. And I want to show you how I use my French press. So I'm going to turn everything around and we'll get started. Okay, so let's continue on with the benefits of coffee. I want to let you know a couple things first. Most of my information is coming from either Johns Hopkins or the Mayo Clinic. I think I have one article that I'm going to list below this from Rush University. Everything I say is coming from these research studies, from these medical schools, universities, and what they have concluded. It's not me making it up. It's after lots of research. So I'll list everything below. So before I get started talking about coffee, make sure that you, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, or you have atrial fib, or you've got something going on, you talk to your doctor before you consume more coffee. After listening to all these benefits, you think, well, I'm going to keep going with that, have a couple more cups, but make sure you speak to your doctor and see that it's safe for you to consume caffeine or coffee, because caffeine's effects on people and their bodies varies from one person to the next. So just speak with your doctor first. When we're done talking, I'm going to make something with you that is a recipe for a really healthy, chock full of antioxidant coffee smoothie. It can be iced or it can be hot. And this recipe came from Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine Nutrition Department. So stay tuned for that. Study after study continues to back up the effects of coffee being one of the most healthy antioxidant-rich beverages that we can consume. Though coffee is high in antioxidants, which are polyphenols, or polyphenols are antioxidants, tea is also high. So a lot of people think coffee is the highest, but actually the fact is that green tea has the highest amount of antioxidants than any other beverage. When we talk about antioxidants, what are they really? Well, they are molecules that help us to stay healthy. That's really kind of the bottom line. They help our body to fight off anything that is coming to maybe alter the balance of our health. That's just kind of a generalized nutshell. But again, I'll list some specific information about antioxidants, molecules, and the molecule is actually broken down into an atom or atoms. Before we talk about these specific illnesses that coffee has a positive impact on, I want to mention that the research has shown even 1 cup of coffee is beneficial, but over 4 tends to do things that aren't so comfortable for us, like insomnia, rapid heart rate, feeling like you have the jitters, causing terrible acid reflux. So it's the 1 to 4 cups per day that is in that range of the most benefit for our body. If you can't tolerate coffee because of some of those side effects, it's okay to have decaf or decaf tea. You're still going to get healthy antioxidant benefits from decaf. That's a myth as well, that people think decaf doesn't contain anything good. It still contains some caffeine, but a very small amount compared to the average cup of caffeinated coffee, which is around 100 milligrams. That's average. Myth about decaf coffee is that it is unsafe. Do you remember when that was going around, that it was toxic, that the process they used to decaffeinate that the coffee beans caused all kinds of negative health benefits? But as I researched it, the information that I got was that all methods of decaffeination rely on chemistry to extract caffeine naturally found in the coffee beans, and all are authorized as safe by the food safety regulators in the United States, Europe, and around the world. And again, I know there are those people that don't believe any of that. That's okay too, just giving you the research. They are people who are educated in this and who do research on their own and found that it is safe to have decaffeinated coffee. The decaffeination process is safe. The place that I've read most of the information about the decaffeinated process being unsafe has come from brewers who claim theirs is the best method. So buy from them because their method is safer than others. Which type of coffee bean has the highest amount of antioxidants? And the type of coffee bean would be Arabica. Here's a really good myth. People still do this all over the place. All over the world, I think. And that is that storing coffee, ground or beans in your fridge or freezer is the best way to store it, and it keeps it fresher longer, when actually that is a big myth. The truth is that storing your coffee in the refrigerator actually exposes your coffee to moisture and odors, and that will result in a stale brew and an actually awful tasting brew, especially the longer that it's in there. So no, cold storage in the fridge or freezer won't make your coffee last any longer. It pretty much has the opposite effect. Another myth is that people think the darker the roast, the more the caffeine. But the fact is there's not a caffeine difference between light, medium, and dark roasted coffee beans. What's a higher amount of caffeine really has to do with the process in which your coffee is made. Cold brew, that process of making cold brew tends to make it pretty strong with caffeine, and cold brew is my favorite. Another really important myth to put to rest is that coffee is an addictive stimulant. It is not considered an addictive stimulant in the way we think of other stimulants that are out there, or in the way we think of addiction to be, because the fact is the National Institute on Drug Abuse defines a caffeine habit as dependence, not addiction, because you can stop using caffeine without life-threatening withdrawal symptoms or self-destructive behaviors, although some people might think that they have to have their coffee or they will have self-destructive behaviors, but that's just the fact. It is not an addictive stimulant. Nor is it a diuretic in the way we think of a diuretic. Like if you take a true diuretic medication and it's there to help with your swelling around your feet or ankles, helps with your kidneys, making you go pee, bringing your blood pressure down. Coffee is not considered that type of a diuretic, although it is a mild diuretic and it is probably going to make you pee more, especially if you drink a lot of it. So just keep up with water, but don't use it as the same type of diuretic that you've been prescribed for your blood pressure. It won't work the same way. I asked the question on my Facebook page, I'll link it below if you're interested, and on a story on Instagram about whether people like iced coffee or whether they like hot coffee best, and why they drink coffee. I mean, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about drinking coffee? So I'll let you know that in just a second. Let's go over one more thing of interest, and that is if we've got this cup of coffee or tea, it's chock full of antioxidants and it's very healthy for us, what else can we do to give it a boost to make it even more healthy? And what you can do is add high antioxidant spices like, say, cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, and some cocoa. And remember that cacao and cocoa are the same thing. Cacao is just the beans, and cocoa is, once the beans are processed, it's the powder. You can add that. But the other thing that you can add are mushrooms or a mushroom powder. So one of my friends who answered that question on my Facebook page talked about what she adds to her morning coffee, and in her routine is has to do with mushrooms and some other things, and I will list that below. I looked at it, it is very interesting, and that gives her a lot more of a boost actually. There's also mushroom coffee. It still tastes good. It seems to be a really popular brand. I think Cuppa and some other brands are very popular, and they are considered mushroom coffees. Okay, what are the biggest benefits of drinking coffee based on science, based on facts and research? over thousands and thousands of people. Many research articles have been put out about this. And let's go over what the biggest benefits are. May reduce the risk of, and I'm going to list these things, and it has to say may reduce because you can't guarantee something, and you certainly can't say it's going to help with type 2 diabetes when you have people coming back saying, but it didn't help mine. So just keep that in mind. That's why may reduce instead of actually doing it isn't there. The benefits to our health for drinking coffee, even if it's decaf, preferably 1 to 4 cups a day, is a reduction in developing type 2 diabetes. A reduction in people who drink coffee for developing Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. It helps in cognitive abilities. Like, I feel like mine's declining with age. I used to be so sharp. So I'm drinking coffee for a couple of those reasons, including heart disease, because that's really high in my family. Improves heart disease, improves strokes, liver and endometrial cancers, depression. I'm going to put that article below. Very interesting. Okay, now let's talk about what the feedback was from people that responded to my poll on Facebook and on Instagram stories. The main reason that a lot of people talk about why they need coffee or want coffee has to do with it calms me. That's the number one thing, where sometimes you think it might be opposite. The other thing is it helps with a headache. A lot of people wake up with headaches. And of course, if we don't get our morning coffee, sometimes we have a headache just based on that. So it helps headaches. It helps keep a headache at bay. That was a really big one. I love the taste. I like the health benefits. It's a routine that I enjoy every single morning. It gives me energy. It's like a comfort food. It's a comfort beverage. Somebody else said it's absolutely necessary in my life. When I asked whether people enjoy iced coffee or hot coffee won over. How many cups of coffee, according to my friends who responded, stated 1 to 2 cups every morning. That surprised me. I guess I was thinking people are drinking more like I am. And I had to really work on this because I don't get good sleep at night, or I just tend to still think that I'm on my 3 to 11:30 shift or something like I was for so many years. And I do enjoy being up late. So, but when you have to be at a place of work by 6:37, 7:30 in the morning, you're going tired. And so I knew I really had to cut back on caffeine when I was going to Starbucks and getting a venti iced coffee and then adding a shot of espresso in there. That's like, really, come on. So I can drink iced coffee all day because I love the flavor of iced coffee. The other reason is headaches, definitely, and I like to feel like I'm waking up a little bit. I don't feel like it wakes me up and then I'm really ready to go for the rest of the day, because if you really are sleep deprived, it's not going to make that much of a difference, which is also another myth. Is it going to make you, when you're intoxicated or you got a good buzz on and you want to get in your car, is drinking coffee going to change the alcohol content in your bloodstream? No. Is it going to make you feel more awake and alert? No, it's not going to have any impact on that. That's kind of how I feel when I drink it when I'm really tired. I feel great for an hour or maybe 2, and then I'm just super tired again and then I want to reach for it. That's why I have switched most of my hours to be later on in the morning for my work schedule for being a home health nurse. But also I've switched to decaf. I can still love the flavor of iced coffee, but I can switch to decaf in the late morning or afternoon time. Okay, so we established that coffee, tea as well though, but coffee is what we're talking about today, and it is chock full of antioxidants. And antioxidants are what helps to keep us healthy. It even has, the research has also talked about having a healthier and even longer life for the coffee drinkers versus the non-coffee drinkers. But remember, don't fret over that, because if you don't like coffee, try decaf, try green tea. How about black tea? It's all out there for us and it's very beneficial. Okay, so on to this iced pumpkin spice latte that I'm going to put together. I've never tried this before. I don't have any idea what it's going to taste like. And it does ask for, you know, this regular pure pumpkin, which is fantastic and good for us. And I love pumpkin, but there's no sugar in this. You add sugar to make this taste good. And it says there's no sugar added to this latte unless you really need to have sugar. So I'll see what I need to put in here. Let's make it. Let me read it to you. It says, blend together the following ingredients. And at the beginning, I explained this came from Johns Hopkins. I think it was a School of Medicine Nutrition Department. 1 cup of coffee, half a cup of milk of your choice, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, or add half a teaspoon each of ground cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and allspice. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, also something that's bitter and not sweet, and half a cup of canned Yeah, half a cup of canned pumpkin. And add your ice cubes. Mix this up. All right, hang on. Let me get everything. Okay, I've got everything here. Let's go. 1 cup of coffee. Okay. Half a cup of the milk of your choice. I'm going to do the unsweetened extra creamy oat milk. I love this. I also love coconut milk a lot. So we have half a cup of milk of your choice. Put that right there. Now we're going to go down to the 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, or half a teaspoon each of the cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and allspice. But I have this. Any of you tried this? It's only out, I think it's out now. It's seasonal, and it's by Pampered Chef Pantry, called Cinnamon Plus Spice Blend. I love this. I use it a lot. And in it, it has cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, ground orange peel, cloves, and ginger. All right, so let's do 2 teaspoons of that. 2 teaspoons of that. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, this is just the Costco brand, and I love it. Doesn't that just smell delicious? Tastes awful, smells delicious. Okay, now half a cup of canned plain pumpkin, and the rest is ice. That just seems like a lot. Half a cup. Okay, I had to dig this one out because putting everything in here, it's not big enough. Okay, so let's start with this. Half a cup. Pumpkin's going in here. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know. I just don't know. Okay. All right, here we are. Here's the milk with the spices. Seems like it's like so much pumpkin, but we will trust. We will trust the process. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. Not going to work. I got to find something even bigger. I don't have anything that you can see it with, but I will put it back in this when I get to that. Here we go. This is as big as I've got. All right, I put the rest of the coffee in here. Here it is. Now we're pouring all of this. I'm going to scrape it out. Here we go. Gotta get down to the bottom here. Hey, that was Tina who was calling me. Hi, Tina, if you're watching, I'll call you back. Here's the ice. Here's our drink. Okay. And here we go. Again, this is called a iced pumpkin spice latte smoothie. There is no sugar in here. Let's try it. Why? It's the cinnamon and stuff, you guys. Okay, let's work on this. Let's put in some sugar. Excuse me, Dusty. Okay, here's some sugar. Yeah, I know people are going to think that's too much. It needed it. Okay. Here we go. Let's try this again with some sugar. Okay, a lot better. It's got to have sugar. I don't know why these nutritionists, I love them and I need one in my life every day, and I follow several of them, but why is sugar such the devil? I mean, there are just some things that you cannot have without a little bit of sweetener. I realize you can put any kind of sweetener you want in there. All I have is this sugar that is not in the raw, but it's from Costco. It's organic, whatever that really means. Okay. Would I drink this now? Yes, I would. It's not the best thing in the world, but just knowing that it has all these antioxidants in it, it's very healthy. I would definitely drink this in the morning. Thank you for watching till the very end. And if you like health-related topics, myths and facts, and medical mishaps, then please consider subscribing.